Yo guys, what's up? It's Nitro Gaming 24/7, and we're finally going to get around to recording the 10-year world tour video of my survival world. Now, a little bit about this world. This world was created on December 29th of 2013. It was created on the PS3 version, transferred to the PS4 version, and then transferred to Bedrock, and that's what it's now on. It's on Bedrock PS4. I just joined myself from PC. So this here is the spawn room. So that whenever you join my world, you used to spawn up there, but they changed it, so now we spawn down here. We built this room out. So in spawn room, you got little nods to all the different biomes. You got the overworld there, you got the Nether, you got the end, and then deep dark / lush caves. And then for the walls, you can see we have every different type of ore. And in the floors, we got all the ores. There's even deep slate emerald if you can find it. Like there's one right there. There's a couple scattered through here. And then we got the oceans underneath. So from here, we got a few different paths. This goes down into a cave. We got the elevator wall with all the different ores and stuff. This is for a future project. So in the sides here, I want to do every type of mob all the way down, and this pathway goes down a couple hundred blocks all the way down to the item sorter, which we'll get to later. And then this is the exit that goes up through here. So let's go up through here. Alright, so after you leave spawn here, you go up through here, and there's this area here. Got a shark in the tank. I want to light it up a little bit better. We're still kind of working on this area. Got like a little ocean monument and stuff. We was going to add fish and stuff in here, but the magma blocks there pulls the fish down and actually kills them, so we're going to have to get rid of those. So we kind of got to fix up this area a bit more. And then from here we got the world map. So here's a full map of the world. Right now we are right here underneath the Pokeball. So for this tour, what I'm going to do is I'm kind of just going to jump around. That way we skip all the flying and all the boring stuff. So we are right here right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and jump straight to the dragon build and start with that. And then we'll go from the dragon build to the item sorter, and then probably just randomly throughout the whole rest of the town. Alright, so we're coming up on the dragon build now. Now the dragon build is one of the main projects that we'll be working on in the future. So we got a lot of plans for this build. We're going to do like a full town, a castle in the back. We'll do the town over there. Custom land where you can't see any original land. You can see how we already started doing that. With mountains in the back. So back here will be big mountains going through. We got a whole custom lake in front of the dragon. You can see these are glass blocks. It's like 7 blocks or 6 or 7 blocks thick. So a couple 100,000 glass just right there. And we still got to texture this whole biome and everything. And here's the dragon. I'll come over here to get a little better view. And this right here is the hole that we was using to get the materials so we can build the wall and everything. And if you go up and land over here, you get a lot better view of the dragon. Alright, I'll fly around the dragon real quick. Back here, I want some kind of shops. Do a castle and stuff in the back. Here's the back of the dragon. And then on this side, we got the river going up, and this is where we want to do the town and stuff on both sides. And then a big waterfall in the back. Alright, so from here, I'm going to go ahead and jump straight over there to the item sorter and give you a tour of that. By the way, there's Eddie's build right there in between the dragon and the mainland. So all this land and stuff around it, we do want to get rid of. And all this right here. You can see how we already started flattening most of that. So there's Eddie's build. We are coming up on the item sorter right now. Let it load in real quick. I'm going to fly to the other side and get a better view of it. Alright, so here's a better view of the item sorter. So we got the main sorter right here, which sorts every item in the game. It holds over 21 million items, so it can literally hold everything. And there's a lot of room for expanding for newer updates and newer blocks and stuff. And then on all four corners, there, and there, we got different rooms. So this room here is a villager trader. This room over there is a super smelter, so we can smelt all the items that we need to. This one is still empty. It's eventually going to be for potions and brewing and stuff like that. And then that one's still empty. We're going to put armor and stuff like that over there. So here's the back of the item sorter where you can see all the redstone and all the actual sorters. So how we have this sorted, we got all the main blocks here. So like all the stone blocks, half slabs, fences, all the ores and stuff here. Flowers, trees, all the different types of wood. On this side over here is all the different colors. So anything with color, we got glass, glass panes, wool, terracotta. This side's all the food. All these are extra. And then all the redstone stuff. On this side over here, we have nether stuff. So all the nether stuff there. All that is extra room. Then we got the sea stuff. So anything that you find in the water. And then on this side, we have the most extra room. So we got all of that still extra and all that still extra. We got random stackables here. And then on this side's like all the different workbenches, tables and stuff, and then other random stackables. From the middle of the sorter here, you drop down. This is where you put all your items in and they flow through. And then we have bulk storage down here, so shulker loaders and stuff. So anything that we have mass amounts of, like stone, cobblestone and stuff like that, after it fills up the boxes up there, it'll come down here and fill up these shulker loaders. So like stone, you can see we have just boxes and boxes of stone. So I went ahead and grabbed some stone. I'm going to go ahead and throw some stone into the system so y'all can actually see it working. So you just put all your items in here. The items go through. They drop down here. It's on a clock, so it only drops them so fast. Items go through, go up this back section here and into the sorter. Once the items go up this elevator right here, they go back and forth in between this side, so there's 3 on each section. So it goes down, comes back, and then goes back around, and then it repeats itself in each one until all the items are actually sorted. And here's the back side of the item sorter. You can see how the items are going through. Alright, so back at the center of the item sorter, you can actually go to the different sides. So this side over here is the villager trader. So in here we have over 100 different villagers that trades a lot of different things. So we have all these stone cutters here. We have guys that trade every type of terracotta. We got food over here. We got different redstone and stuff right there. These 4 are extra. Different books. We got some Fletchers. All our tools and armor here. And then we have every single book here at max level. And then for the iron farm itself, up to 10 can spawn in this area here. So I figured I should make a way to actually farm the extra iron golems that are spawning. So I came up with this idea. I use the skeleton. They shoot the iron golem to pull them in. And then once the iron golem gets pulled in, you see him shooting right there. It'll try to get to them, and then they'll just fall right down this hole and burn in lava down there. So they fall in the hole, burn in lava, or I could fall down with them. So the iron just comes up to the top right here, drops down and goes in these chests right here. And then from here, if we go straight to the other side, we have our super smelter. So I'm going to go ahead and head over there. Our super smelter isn't the best, but it works good for mass amounts of the same block. So on these 2 sides here, we have lava, so we can farm everything. And then we just drop it down into this chest and it gets put into the system. And then we have the smelter back here, and you just put all your items in. Like right now, we are cooking all kinds of different things. Stone, and I think we got glass over here. Yeah, we're cooking glass over here. And then all the items go through these channels here, and they go down here. So you can see how fast it's actually cooking. And then all the items go up through there into these chests and these chests here. So that's pretty much it for the super smelter. So let's go ahead and head over to the farms back this way. So if you just jump right across over here, there's a couple farms. Now these were some villager farms that farm like different crops and stuff, but all the villagers disappeared, so it's no longer working. I gotta put the villagers back in there, just haven't done it yet. And we have the flower farm over here. So this flower farm here, it has one of every type of flower, and it just uses bone meal to harvest them, and then all the flowers go underneath. So you just come up to one of the machines, say you want these, turn it on, and it'll farm them for you. This track that's above it is for feeding it with bone meal. We got a bone meal farm back here. So we just turn this on and it'll supply that with bone meal so we can run it as long as we want. You can see some bone meal going up through it right now. But it's just a basic bone meal farm. In this area here, this big field, we're eventually going to put all kinds of different types of farms over here. So it's going to be like our farming district. And right over there we have the wool farm. I'm going to go ahead and go over there. So this wool farm here I thought was one of the coolest designs whenever I was designing it. How I did all the tracks and how the mechanical stuff works. Came out pretty good. So we got the tracks underneath that bring up the wool, and then all the wool float into the center and they go in these chests up here. And we have like 8 of every sheep, 8 to 10 of every color. So we can farm all the colors at once. Right now the farm is turned off, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it on so y'all can see the wool actually flowing through and see how it works. Alright, so I have everything turned on. You should start to see wool going through the center right now. There you go. Now you can see some of the wool actually going through the machine. So all these just got sheared from the tanks, and then the mine carts pick up the wool down there. It brings them over, puts them in these elevators, and goes up top. But I thought this middle section just looked really cool with the clear glass, and then the items just going up top. It's just satisfying to watch. And then if we go up to the top up here, you can see we have all the colors, and we have lots and lots of every color. So like yellow, we got all these shulkers full of yellow, orange. Let's go ahead and head over there to the old Guardian Temple. So this Guardian Temple used to work really good, but one of the updates changed it so they don't spawn in the tanks anymore. We are working on a new one over here, but that's a future project. We'll get to that. And all this land right here is going to get taken out eventually. So we're going to tear all this down and flatten all that. So here's the old Guardian farm. As I was saying, it used to work really good, but once we switched to Bedrock Edition, the farms change how the spawning works. So they don't spawn randomly anymore in the area. It's like a certain grid chunk. And none of these tanks are actually in the grid chunk. I think it's too low or something like that. So all the Guardians stopped spawning in here. But they used to spawn in these tanks and they would go down, and then we had our kill chamber right there. And then we got the entrance way over here. This leads up and it goes towards the Cybertruck. In this entrance way, you got a fish tank that wraps around behind the stairs and underneath them. You can see we have the conduit and stuff down there. And then back behind we got all the coral and stuff. You can't really see it too much, but it's a whole fish tank back there. And then we head up to the Cybertruck. You can kind of see it through the glass right there. Alright, so I had to wait for a night and skip the rain, that way you can see everything better. But after you come out of here, you go up these stairs and you can see the Cybertruck. So the Cybertruck's right there. So the Cybertruck's one of the biggest builds on the map so far. This and the Dragon's the 2 biggest builds. But all this land right here is actually going to get taken out. You can see how we already started taking most of it out. And then we got the truck from the other side. It's kind of hard to get the whole thing to load in at once. And then at the back we got a roll of toilet paper. So I built this back whenever COVID was the thing and everybody was buying all the toilet paper. So I figured I might as well build a roll of toilet paper in the world, so why not? And then back behind the toilet paper we have one of my friend's Cake Flex's builds. He was trying to recreate the wheat garden from 2B2T. He started building it and then never finished, so this is what he got of it so far. Maybe one day he'll come back and finish it. Alright, so now we are on to some of the older land. So these are some older builds back before most of the updates, so most of them is going to be out of stone and older blocks. But we got this whole area here. This right here was the old villager trader system. Back in the day you used to use doors instead of beds, so we got a bunch of doors, and this is how I used to trade most of my items back then. We got random houses. This house right here I'm actually going to take down whenever I clear all that land right there. That way we can put in walkways and stuff like that. We have horse stables, a bunch of different farms. We got a dirt mansion over here. And then up here, that's actually the first 3D model that I ever built. That's why it's kind of blocky and not perfect. I got a lot better since then, but I still keep that one just because it's one of the older builds. Then behind it I got this building here which I really don't like. Came out really ugly. I try to add a lot of details and I don't know, I just don't like it. And then inside we put a villager trader. So if you come in here, you got a bunch of different villages. And then up top you got more villagers. So if you need to trade for anything, you could just trade these guys. And you got an awesome view of the toilet paper. So straight in the back, you jump on this wall here, you can see the toilet paper, the back part of the Cybertruck. Alright, so coming out of the villager trader, you see there's a castle there, Pokeball, an old chest with a whole bunch of chests inside of it. That was going to be the loot room before I built the item sorter, so we never actually used that over there. Then we have all kinds of like random colorful pixel stuff. Then we got this random build right here. I don't really know what it is. It's just something that we built back in the day. And on top of it, we have different little houses. We got like the OG dirt house. So from here, we can actually go into the middle of the desert area. In the desert area, we have some pixel art right there. Have different colorful dogs, and then the tower, the beacon tower thing. This was actually the old spawn point on one of my creative worlds, but it was flipped upside down, floating in the air. And I thought it would be pretty cool to flip it over and put it on the ground as like a tower, so it looks pretty cool. If we go down here, you get a better view of the rings and stuff. So it's just some random tower. We have some old pixel art that I burned down in one of the videos. Still got to clean up this mess, but probably never get around to it. Then we got a bunch of castles. So here's one of the castles. We got a rooftop garden up there. I'll go ahead and fly down to the inside. Most of the insides aren't finished, just because I don't really know what to do with them. So you just walk in. It's pretty empty down here, and then you got the rooftop garden. Here's what it looks like from the backside. And then here's the garden on the roof. So you got the walkway that comes up and it loops around. You got a bunch of water and just random plants and stuff. Next up we have the library build. So this build was one of the earlier castles. I don't really like the way the top looks, but it looks pretty good from this angle right here, because you got the whole garden walkway and you can see the roof walkways here. So from the front, I don't really like how it looks. So you just walk up and go inside there. Then inside we have a library. You walk in, you got all the bookshelves and everything. And then this was going to be the desk and stuff where you like check out your books and stuff like that. And then the back garden area down here. Alright, so next up we have this castle right here. So this was the second castle that I've built. I built the tabletop platform and I didn't really know what to put on top of it. So we just built a castle on top of it. Get a different view of it. So it's all wood and stone. See, nowadays I would add more color and more details to it, but back then we didn't really have that many blocks, so it was kind of hard to do all that. We got some water fountains to the left and right of it, and then you go up these main stairs right here. Once you get to the top of the stairs, you have a bunch of seats and stuff, and then you have these stairways that go up the middle right there. So each corner has a stairway, and then they're all connected through there, and they go straight up the middle. Some of the woodworking on this looks really cool. Like how that wood goes like that, and how the stairway is. So if we go up these pillars here, each pillar has its own outside section, like this. Has a little balcony area, you can go over there, and you can see some of the other builds from here. And then you can go back down a little bit. And then this stairway goes up the middle, and you got the middle section that brings you to the tower. Alright, so here's the top of the tower. You got more stairs that go up like this. Pretty cool design. And then you got the beacon area. And from the top, this is what you could see. See all the other castles. Alright, from here we're actually going to go down to the main garden area. So right here used to be a bunch of mountains and stuff. I tore all those out a long time ago and built this garden area. I have a whole bunch of beacons and just random armor down here. Just a bunch of random stuff. Over here we have the old iron farm, which used to work whenever iron golems used to spawn with beds and stuff. We have the glass ball over there. We got a Ferris wheel, Paris Sprite. We got Luna, some more castles and stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. So right here, this old dirt house actually goes down to our end portal. Just walk up to it, and it goes underground. There's a few underground builds and stuff I actually skipped over. I'll go back to in a minute after this. And you just go down these stairs, and what I was going to do is do a whole underground world over here. I was going to knock out this back wall and build a big room. So on these sides, you can see we dug out all this, and those actually rooms I was going to put farms in, and where you live all the way down. And we got the same thing on that side over there. And then we have the portal in the middle, right here. So pretty cool little room. So some of the underground areas that I skipped over, we got one right here. This is a farm. There's a spider spawner down here. So you just walk down these stairs and there's a spider spawner back behind this wall. You can sit back there, AFK, get a bunch of string, XP, or whatever you want. And all the string and stuff drops down through there and goes into those chests. Another underground area that we have. So from the garden over here next to this castle, we got a village. You can tell that it's an older village just because the block palette that we use. A bunch of cobblestone and just random wood. Cool little town, but we got this stairway right here to the side of it. Go down here. This is a 100 by 100 underground area that's all dug out. If I just jump up on this roof here, you can get a better view of everything down here. So it's a castle, And it's actually a false castle because behind that wall is just a bunch of stone, cobblestone, you know, where we dug it out and everything. And we got this whole area here, just some random houses. It's really dark down here, and I want to do something with the roof, make it look like a starlight roof. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. So behind the castle, you can see it's dug out a little bit, but there's just a wall. Alright, so back up at the surface, let's go ahead and go to this area over here. This was just some random garden thing that I built. I was just bored one day and designed this and just went ahead and built it. It's pretty cool though. So you got like walkways that go around through the whole thing. Got a big fountain in the middle. Just a nice little chill spot. It looks cool from the air because it's all symmetrical. We got another castle back here. Again, you can tell it's one of the older builds because it's made out of a bunch of stone. It would look a lot better if I updated it with black stone and deep slate and stuff like that. Added some like darker colors into it, but I probably won't ever get around to doing that. And then if you walk into the inside, we got a bunch of eggs, ender dragon heads, and wings and stuff like that. Got the cross on the wall. So before y'all question about the extra eggs that we have, on PS4 version, before Bedrock version, you can actually reset your end and Nether. But I'll just reset the end, kill the dragon again, and you can get another egg. So I just reset the end a couple times and got more dragons. That way we can farm elytras and farm all that stuff before we updated it. But now that we updated it, we can't get more extra eggs and stuff like that. And then here's a little bit of the layout from the top. So you got the stairs, you got the walkway that goes to this building in the back here. Most of it's empty. Alright, back to the center over here. We have Luna, you can see there. And then we have the snow castle back here. So you walk up these stairs, and it's a big snow castle. I actually built this for a competition, and then got kicked out of the competition because they said I cheated. We got the legs that are going down like that, and then a whole garden down here. This used to be a snow biome, but one of the updates changed it. And to get into the castle, you just go up that ladder right there. And then on the inside of the castle, this is what it looks like. Still pretty empty. One day I do want to get in here and update it and add a bunch of like chandeliers coming down. Maybe like in-rod chandeliers to make it look all classy in here. And the stairway in here is kind of crazy too. So that's the castle, and then we got a couple random other ice builds over here. We got the mini castle. This pixel art here I'm actually going to take down. And from here we have the church. So here's the old church. I don't really like the front of it. Need to update it with stained glass so it'll make it look a lot better. But we walk inside. You got all the seats, and then you got the main stage area in the back where you got the choir. Next to the church over here we have the Nether build. So this is just the top of it. It's still unfinished, not decorated yet. We'll get to that soon. And then if you look down inside of it, you can see the actual Nether build. So you got walkways, got the castle, and there's the Nether portal right there. To get inside of that, you just go to these stairs that lead down to it right here. So you go down these stairs, and I built all this just for the Nether portal there. Whole castle, walkways, and everything. Got chains hanging from the roof. Now, through the portal isn't actually finished yet. I'll go ahead and hop through. So the other side of the portal, I want it the same design, but different block palette. Instead of doing like the Nether, I want it flipped like the overworld. So once we come out of the portal, you can see it's not finished yet. We got the walkway going through. The castle is halfway built. and then all the bottom still not built or anything. Trying to figure out a way to do water down there. I'll probably do glass or something in different colors to make it look like water. And then we got the sky roof, which is still being put in. And then from here it leads to some other builds that we have out here. So this walkway here leads to an old bastion that we transformed into a farm. We got Piglin Barter and Trader right there with a bunch of item sorters to sort all the items that they trade. And then we have a frog-light farm right here. We got the spawner. You just come down here, AFK, and just get tons and tons of frog lights. And then coming from the side of the bastion, if you follow this walkway all the way down. So that walkway leads to this bridge right here, which leads to the start of a castle. We just got the entranceway done. You can see the start of the castle, the archways whenever you walk up to it. It's also in a basalt biome, so you got all the effect. But this was going to be the entrance, and then up over there was going to be the actual castle. So if you come up over here, this is where the actual castle was going to be. So let's go ahead and head back out to the overworld, and I'll continue the tour from there. Alright, so after we leave this area here, it brings us to all the ponies and stuff that we have lined up in the back. So we got the main 6 over here, big pixel art, well 3D models, whatever you want to call it. And we have the garden area underneath it. We got Spyro over there, and this is actually the spawn point too. So spawn was right underneath there. We got some other just random older builds. This house here. These two houses is my brother's and my cousin's. And then the old battlegrounds. You come in here, you can do some fights or do whatever you want to do in here. It's like a coliseum. We got the old spawn point up there, with the pony holding it up in the air above the castle. And then here's old spawn. You can see down there is actually where the map room is, right on that wall there. And this house here is actually the first house I ever built on the survival world. So 10 years ago is whenever I built this. And then we got the hotel on this back side. So this hotel I built so random people can stay. Some of the rooms are taken, most of the rooms are still empty. And then for our last build is this build here. It was an Emerald Hotel. This build here is based off a real building, like a Rome building. And then I just redesigned it a little bit and made it a lot cooler. Still really not finished. You see this was the lobby area. The lobby area is still empty. We got hotel rooms for anybody that wants to stay in these. You just come in here. You got a bed, chest, everything you would need in there. And then from the front over here, so down here I actually want to do an underground beach area. I think it'll be pretty cool. So clear out all this, make it a beach down here. Do like a pixel sky, some wall backgrounds and stuff like that, and make it like an underground beach area, like a resort. I think that'll be pretty cool. Here's some more views of it from the top, the whole garden area in the middle. And then the back side. And I almost forgot to show y'all the first castle I ever built. So this castle here was the first castle I ever built. So back whenever I just had that house built, I wanted a bigger house, I wanted to build a castle. So this is what I built. If you go in here, so whenever you walk inside, you got a big fountain, got the whole checkerboard layout, you know, the old school layouts. So down here is the spawn point that we already explored. It's kind of just a hole in the middle of the castle now. And then On the sides we got random things like my old chest room. Most of these chests are empty now. Got the brewing station. Up top we have an old villager trader. And then on that side we just got a library and stuff. And from the roof, this is what it looks like up on top of the dome. Alright, and the last thing I'll show y'all is the actual mine of where all this cobblestone and all these materials came from. If you go down this pathway right here, you can get down to the mine. So I actually haven't used this mine in a couple years just because whenever we're clearing out mountains, we get tons and tons of materials and we don't need it anymore. But from the back of the stairs, we got this whole area here. It goes down, it turns. This goes on for a while, but that way you can see the end way back there. And then we got the whole other way that's dug out a lot too. So back at the stairs, if you go the opposite way, continue this path down. It goes all the way down here and then opens back up in this area right here. So all this was all dug by hand, just getting materials for other builds. You can see some strip mining done in the back, and everything's just cleared out. And the other exit to the mine, if you go up from there, comes out in this neighborhood over here by the Cybertruck and by these builds. Alright, so that will be the end of our tour. And thank you for anybody that stayed this long, and I hope you enjoyed the tour video. And if we can hit 10K likes on this video, this pony right here, I'll destroy the whole thing. I'll just take the whole thing out. I'll either set it on fire or blow it up with TNT, but the whole thing will go. So I hope you guys enjoyed and had a good one. Peace out.